the unfolding, embracing every layer of your identity. Have you ever felt like you're living your life in separate compartments, as if the professional you, the creative you, the spiritual you, and the personal you are all different people fighting for space in one body? I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Alice Eze, a remarkable woman whose journey epitomizes what it means to embrace every facet of your identity with grace and courage. Alice isn't just a writer and editor whose works like The Seventh Wife and Hushabye Baby have touched countless hearts. She's a revolutionary force who has redefined what it means to live authentically at the intersection of multiple identities. Her ability to weave her professional expertise with her creative passion while navigating the unique challenges faced by Black women in creative industries has created a blueprint for wholeness that has transformed lives across communities. We live in a world obsessed with labels. What do you do? Is often the first question we ask when meeting someone new. And heaven forbid your answer requires more than 5 words. We're expected to fit neatly into boxes: banker or artist, professional or mother, logical or creative. But what if we're all of these things? What if the most authentic version of ourselves exists at the intersection of seemingly contradictory identities? That's the space Alice Eze inhabits so beautifully. The world will try to convince you that you must choose, Alice told me during our interview, her voice carrying the quiet confidence of someone who has rejected that false dichotomy. But the most powerful thing you can do is say, I am all of these things unapologetically. This isn't just about career choices, it's about the fundamental way we show up in the world. Think about it. How many times have you dimmed one light to let another shine? How often have you hidden your creativity in professional settings or downplayed your ambition in personal ones? How frequently have you thought, I can't be both? The truth is, compartmentalizing ourselves doesn't make us more effective, it makes us less whole. When Alice faced the challenges common to Black women in creative industries, she didn't abandon her professional aspirations or her artistic vision. Instead, she found power in their integration. She leveraged her storytelling gifts to process personal experiences into narratives that resonate widely, creating works recognized for their emotional depth and authenticity. Coming from a background where stories often go unheard, Alice built her platform by staying true to her voice. She published multiple works that linger in readers' minds and grew an audience appreciative of nuanced Black womanhood. Most importantly, she inspires other Black professionals to embrace both their business acumen and artistic talents without compromise. This is what I call the unfolding, the courageous act of allowing every part of yourself to exist simultaneously, creating something more beautiful and complex than any single identity could offer alone. But embracing our multifaceted identities isn't just about personal fulfillment. It can also lead to unexpected wisdom in our professional lives. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors. When he purchased his Laguna Beach home, he made a decision that puzzled many. Despite having ample funds to pay cash, he chose to take out a mortgage. Conventional wisdom might suggest that avoiding debt is always best, especially when you have the means to do so. But Buffett saw something others didn't: the opportunity cost. By using borrowed money for his home, he freed up capital to invest elsewhere, specifically in Berkshire Hathaway stock. This decision multiplied his wealth far beyond what he would have gained by owning his home outright. What's fascinating about this example isn't just the financial strategy, It's that Buffett's decision demonstrates how bringing your whole self to the table, including seemingly contradictory instincts, can lead to breakthrough thinking. He was simultaneously conservative and bold, practical and visionary. He didn't allow himself to be boxed in by what others expected of someone with his resources. Instead, he integrated different aspects of his financial understanding to make a decision that defied convention but ultimately proved extraordinarily wise. This is the power of integration rather than compartmentalization. But let's be honest, living as your full, authentic self isn't always easy. Sometimes the world pushes back. Sometimes systems are designed to keep certain parts of us hidden or diminished. This reality is painfully evident in the history of housing and mortgage lending in America. For decades, historically marginalized groups faced significant barriers accessing affordable mortgages due to systemic inequality within lending practices. The dream of homeownership, a cornerstone of building generational wealth, remained out of reach for many families, particularly Black families. Recognizing this injustice, entities like Fannie Mae were created specifically so mortgage funds would be available to underserved communities, including moderate income borrowers often overlooked by private lenders. Programs like HomePath enabled many first time buyers, especially minorities, to enter homeownership markets previously closed off due to discrimination or lack of generational wealth. The result? Increased rates of homeownership among Black families and more equitable access that strengthens communities long term. This institutional change has supported individual triumphs, themes echoed in stories about breaking cycles through persistence, faith, creativity, and returning stronger after setbacks. This example illustrates something profound. Representation matters in banking, in lending, in artistic spaces, and collective progress uplifts individual journeys. But what happens when life throws challenges at us that threaten to fragment our carefully integrated identities? What happens when we face adversity so overwhelming that we struggle to hold on to any sense of self at all? This is where resilience enters the conversation. No matter how overwhelming life's challenges may seem, whether it's balancing a demanding career, single motherhood, or recovering from serious health setbacks, you have the power to rise above and reclaim your narrative. Alice shared with me how she navigated periods of intense difficulty, times when it would have been easy to abandon either her professional pursuits or her creative work. Instead, she found that each aspect of her identity actually strengthened the others. Her professional discipline gave structure to her creative process. Her artistic sensibility brought innovation to her professional approach, and both were anchored by her faith. Which brings me to another crucial element of maintaining our wholeness: spiritual grounding. Reconnecting with faith and nurturing your relationship with yourself can be transformative, helping you heal from trauma and betrayal while strengthening the bonds that matter most. For many Black women, especially, faith isn't separate from identity, it's the foundation upon which everything else is built. When I felt most broken, Alice told me, that's when I learned that being soft wasn't weakness. It was my greatest strength. This is a profound realization, particularly for those of us who have been conditioned to believe that strength means never breaking, never bending, never showing vulnerability. The truth is that our softest moments often reveal our deepest power. Think about water. In its softest form, as a gentle stream, it can still over time carve through solid rock. Softness isn't the absence of strength. Sometimes it's strength in its most patient, persistent form. For Black women who have long carried the strong Black woman mantle, often to their own detriment, embracing softness can be revolutionary. It's about giving yourself permission to rest, to feel, to be human rather than superhuman. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or giving up on ambition. It means approaching those responsibilities and ambitions from a place of wholeness rather than fragmentation. It means recognizing that you are not limited by one title or role. Being a mortgage banker, artist, playwright, mother, all these aspects can coexist beautifully when you honor every part of your journey. So, what does this mean for you? How do you begin your own unfolding? First, give yourself permission to pursue every facet of your identity boldly. Stop apologizing for being complex, for containing multitudes. The world needs your whole self, not just the parts that fit neatly into predefined categories. Second, seek restoration through faith when needed. Don't shy away from asking for help or leaning on community support during tough times. Strength isn't about going it alone, it's about knowing when to reach out. Third, take practical steps toward financial literacy, even if you're already successful. As Warren Buffett's example shows us, there's always more to learn, always ways to make your resources work more effectively for you. And finally, never let fear keep you boxed into just one role or dream. You contain multitudes. You are vast. You deserve to express every beautiful, contradictory, complex part of yourself. I want to leave you with this thought. What if the most powerful thing you could do isn't choosing between your different selves, but bringing them all to the table? What if your greatest contribution to the world isn't any single talent or role, but the unique alchemy that happens when all your identities dance together? Today, I challenge you to take one deliberate step toward integration. Identify one part of yourself you've been hiding and bring it into the light. Write that poem you've been keeping inside while excelling at your corporate job. Bring your analytical mind to your creative pursuits. Let your spiritual wisdom inform your business decisions. Because when we show up as our complete selves, we don't just transform our own lives, we create ripples that change everything around us. We build bridges between worlds that desperately need connection. We model for others what authentic living looks like. And in a world that profits from our fragmentation, choosing wholeness isn't just a personal victory, it's a revolutionary act. So unfold, beautiful soul. Unfold into the fullness of who you are. The world is waiting for all of you. Thank you.